point is other harmful microorganisms. We studied about the useful and harmful microorganisms definition. In this point we studied this harmful microorganisms, means which are very harmful to us, or when we suffered from any disease due to the different types of harmful microorganisms. So in your book one chart is there. In this chart some harmful microorganisms are there. In this microorganisms, some are bacteria, some are viruses, and also some diseases due to the protozoa and some diseases due to the fungal infection. So in this first, some diseases are viral diseases. In this chart, first column is about the name of disease. After this, pathogen. Pathogen means the harmful microorganism or causing agent of this disease is known as pathogen. So this is the causing agent or pathogenic microorganisms of this specific disease, and this mode of infection means how this harmful microorganisms are entered in our body to create infection or disease. And the last point is the preventive measures. If you are suffering from any disease, or if you want to avoid this disease, then some preventive measures must be taken. So we studied the first disease, that is the AIDS. AIDS is a viral disease. Now not only in India but also in all over the world, this AIDS is a very dangerous disease. It is a viral disease. You studied about in 8th standard about this AIDS disease. The HIV, that is the human immunodeficiency virus, is responsible for this AIDS disease. So virus is the pathogen of this AIDS disease. How this virus of AIDS, that is the HIV virus, is enter in our body? This virus enter in our body through the infected person's blood or semen of infected person, or also it can transmitted through the infected mother or milk of infected mother to her child. So this is the mode of infection. And preventive measures, there are safe sexual contact is the best preventive measure to avoid the infection of AIDS, and also to test the HIV test of this pregnant mother is very important. Now the next disease is hepatitis. It is also one type of viral disease. The infection of hepatitis due to the virus, and this mode of infection of this hepatitis diseases, that is the contaminated water and food. You always eat the food from outside, so this food is contaminated due to the flies. You know, mosquito and flies are fly and they sit on this food material, and we eat like this food, and through this contaminated food there is a chances of infection of these viruses enter in our body. So this hepatitis disease is due to the virus, and this virus can enter in our body through the contaminated water and food. So we must, to avoid this infection of hepatitis, there is a preventive measure, that is the you must be avoid the outside food or unclean food, or boiling. Drinking of this boiling water is very important preventive measures. Now the next disease is the influenza disease. Influenza disease is also due to the viral infection, means virus is the causing agent of this influenza, and this mode of infection is when you come in contact with infected person. There is a long-term contact of patient who are suffering from this influenza, then there is a chances of this influenza virus get entered in healthy person's body. So this influenza is also viral infection, and there are chances of infection when you come in contact with the infected person. Therefore, the preventive measure is personal hygiene and avoiding the contact with infected person. You must be avoid the contact with this infected person, and also there is a personal hygiene, means your personal hygienic habits must be followed. You must be wash your hands regularly. So this measles and chickenpox. What is the measles? Measles म्हणजे ज्याला आपण मराठीमध्ये गोवर म्हणतो आणि chickenpox म्हणजे कांजण्या. This chickenpox and measles are also viral infection. Means if a virus are entering your body, then you are suffering from measles and mumps, especially in children. When this chickenpox infection is carried out in your body, at that time lifelong or one time infection is there, lifelong immunity तुम्हाला त्या चिकनपॉक्सच्या वेळेस तयार होते. म्हणजे एकदा कांजण्या झाल्या की शक्यतो परत येत नाही, कारण तुमच्या बॉडीमध्ये त्याच्या अगेन्स्ट काय होतं, इम्युनिटी लॉंग लाईफ तयार होते. सो दिस measles and chickenpox are due to the viral infection, and also there is a mode of infection of this diseases due to the contact in infected person. तुम्हाला बऱ्याच वेळा अनुभवलं असेल की तुमच्या क्लासमध्ये जर कोणाला कांजणे आले असतील तर त्यांना 8 दिवस घरी बसवलं जातं. कारण का, तर ते कॉन्टॅक्टनी लवकर हा व्हायरस पसरतो. सो मोड ऑफ इन्फेक्शन थ्रू दिस come in contact with infected person. So next is the preventive measures of this measles and chickenpox. Vaccination, then uncontaminated water and clean food. There is very important point is vaccination. What is the meaning of vaccination? Vaccination म्हणजे लसीकरण. लस घेणं हे फार महत्त्वाचं आहे याच्यामध्ये. वॅक्सिनेशन मुळे काय होतं की तुमच्यामध्ये इम्युनिटी तयार केली जाते. जर तुम्हाला डिसीज होऊ नये म्हणून आपण जी काळजी घेतो, ज्याला आपण प्रिव्हेंटिव्ह मेजर्स म्हणतो, त्याच्यामध्ये वॅक्सिनेशन हे फार मोठं आहे. तुम्ही पोलिओ डोसचे वॅक्सिनेशन बघितले असतील की वॅक्सिनेशनमुळे काय होतं की आपल्यामध्ये इम्युनिटी बूस्ट केली जाते. सो दिस measles and chickenpox are viral diseases, and to prevent these diseases there is a vaccination is very important. Also your food must be clean and your water must be boiled. So these are the preventive measures for this. Then next disease is the bird flu and swine flu. This, according to its name, bird flu and swine flu, they are infection due to the infected birds and animal. These diseases are also viral diseases. Means viruses are very dangerous to us, or not only human being but also in animals. This bird flu, the causing agent or virus is H7N9, and swine flu H1N1 is the causing virus of this both diseases, H7N9 and H1N1. Due to this bird flu and swine flu, these are the viral diseases, and mode of infection of these diseases due to the come in contact with infected birds and animal. So you must be take the preventive measures of this cleanliness of your surrounding, also personal hygiene and properly cooked meat. This is very important because in non-vegetarian this chicken or meat like food material must be cooked very well to avoid this infection of swine flu and bird flu, because these viruses are grow on this meat, and therefore this non-veg food must be cooked very well to avoid this infection of bird flu and swine flu. Then next disease is the dengue. Dengue is also one type of viral disease, and the mode of infection is bite of mosquito. This mosquito bite is very important. In next time we will study in detail about this dengue. This mosquito bite means the virus which is present in this infected person's blood. This mosquito when bite to infected person and then bite to healthy persons, it is mosquito is act as a carrier. It carries the virus from patient to the healthy person. So this dengue is viral disease and mode of infection through the bite of mosquito, and therefore the preventive measures for this, the cleanliness of your surrounding. तुमचा परिसर स्वच्छ असणं हे सगळ्यात महत्त्वाची गोष्ट आहे की तुम्ही हा डिसीज अवॉइड करू शकता. कारण आपल्याला एक सवय असते की आपलं घर आपण सगळं स्वच्छ करतो, घरातला कचरा काढून कुठे टाकतो, बाहेर टाकतो, पण यामुळे मॉस्किटो फ्लाईज ग्रो होणार आणि तेच परत तुमच्यासाठी डेंजरस आहे, जे की तुमच्या हेल्थला अफेक्ट करतं. कारण त्या कचऱ्यावरती मॉस्किटोज ग्रो होतील आणि ते मॉस्किटो परत तुमच्या घरात येऊन तुम्हालाच बाईट करतील अँड देर आर चान्सेस ऑफ दिस infection of dengue. So cleanliness of your surrounding is very important. Also preventing the stagnation of water. तुमच्या पाण्याचा साठा जो आहे तो झाकलेला असला पाहिजे. एकतर उघड्यावरती पाणी साठवू नाही दिलं पाहिजे. आणि जर तुम्ही अशा पद्धतीने पाण्याच्या टबमध्ये कशामध्ये साठा करणार असाल तर तो झाकून ठेवणं गरजेचं आहे. त्याचबरोबर मॉस्किटो कंट्रोल करणं हे सुद्धा एक महत्त्वाचं प्रिव्हेंटिव्ह मेजर आहे. देन द नेक्स्ट डिसीज इज pneumonia. Here infection of this pneumonia is due to the bacteria. This pneumonia disease is the bacterial disease. Spelling is very important. This P is silent. So pneumonia is a bacterial infection, means pathogen is bacteria for this pneumonia disease. And how this pneumonia is spread? The mode of infection of this pneumonia is droplets spread in ear by the infected person. In 8th standard you studied about one diagram. If there is an infected person, then when sneezing or coughing process, small droplets from this patient's mouth are spread in the ear and they are suspended in this ear. And if any healthy person is come in contact with this droplets of sputums of this infected person, then there is a chances of infection of this pneumonia. So droplets which are spread in ear by the infected persons are responsible for the infection of this pneumonia bacteria. Then preventive measures of this pneumonia disease: vaccination, avoiding and also avoid the contact with infected person. Here also vaccination is very important, and when you come in contact with the infected person, at that time there are chances of this infection. Therefore you must be avoid the contact with this patient. So this is about the pneumonia disease. It is bacterial disease. Now the next bacterial disease is leprosy. Leprosy म्हणजे कुष्ठरोग. हा सुद्धा कसा आहे? Bacterial disease आहे. In this leprosy disease, their mode of infection is long-term contact with infected person. Long-term contact म्हणजे खूप काळासाठी. आता एखादा बाहेरचा पेशंट असेल तर आपण त्याच्या कॉन्टॅक्ट मध्ये खूप काळ येऊ शकत नाही. पण जर तुमच्या घरामध्ये एखादा पेशंट असेल तर त्याच्या कॉन्टॅक्ट मध्ये तुम्ही फार काळापर्यंत राहू शकता. There is chances of this leprosy. This bacteria of leprosy are entered in a healthy person due to the long-term contact with patient. Therefore, preventive measure is to avoid the long-term contact with the infected person, and also you must be avoid their belongings like clothes or utensils. म्हणजे आपल्याला लेप्रेसी टाळायचे असेल तर पेशंटचे जे काही युटेन्सिल्स म्हणजे त्याला जेवायला देणारं ताट, त्याचे जे काही वापरातले भांडे वस्तू, त्याचे कपडे असतील ते आपण दुसऱ्या कोणीही वापरलं नाही पाहिजे. त्यांना विलगीकरण करणं गरजेचं आहे जेणेकरून तुम्हाला या लेप्रेसीचा इन्फेक्शन, या बॅक्टेरियाचं इन्फेक्शन टाळता येऊ शकतं. Then next disease is a cholera disease. This cholera is also due to the infection of bacteria. It is a bacterial disease and it's spread through this contaminated food and water. Mainly in rainy season, you are observed that this cholera is mostly observed. This food, contaminated food and water in which this bacteria of cholera are present. So the chances of infection of cholera due to this bacteria. Therefore, preventive measures of this cholera is clean food and water. You must eat fresh food, and also your water must be boiled to avoid the infection of cholera. Then next disease is the malaria disease. This malaria disease due to the pathogen is protozoa. Protozoal infection आहे हे. प्रोटोझोआचं जर बाईट झाला आपल्याला, प्रोटोझोआ ॲक्च्युली बाईट करत नाही, देर इज अ mosquito bite is responsible for the infection of protozoa, or due to this malaria diseases occur in the healthy person. So this protozoa is a causing agent, and this protozoa spread due to the mosquito. Means mosquito is the act as a vector to spread this protozoa from patient to the healthy person. And also there is one reason of this spread of this malaria due to the unclean surrounding. Unclean surrounding जर असेल तर आता सांगितल्याप्रमाणे की there are chances of grow of mosquito and then spread of this protozoa, and due to this the malaria infection is carried out in the healthy persons. Therefore, the preventive measures for this malaria, your cleanliness of surrounding, then preventing stagnation of water, and controlling the mosquitoes are the preventive measures to avoid the malaria infection. Now the last, this is dandruff, ringworm, and scabies. It is due to the infection of fungus. Means fungal infection. This is dandruff, ringworm, and scabies are the skin diseases, and for the skin diseases, the responsible agent or pathogen is fungus. These are the fungal infections, and all these infections are due to the coming in contact with infected person. This mode of infection mainly contact with the infected person. Also, when you belong share the belongings like clothes or combs, mainly in dandruff you share the combs, or also for ringworm and scabies when you share your clothes like towels with your siblings, at that time there are chances of this fungal infection. So to avoid this fungal infection or skin diseases like dandruff, ringworm, or scabies, the preventive measures are personal hygiene is very important, then avoiding contact with the infected person. So this is about the harmful microorganisms to human beings. So our